All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the My Snowcross Media Racer Roundup podcast. Dom Santina, Matt Kosh. Matt, how you doing?
Doing great, Dom. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. And we once again have another guest on the podcast. This time, little work in the making, but the rider for the 331 Polaris for Hemmer Motorsports, Inanna Hauger. Inanna, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing great. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, of course.
How's it going in Minnesota right now?
It's going good. I have an off day from practice today, so just doing some studying and trying to stay warm. It's cold out here, so.
Season off to a pretty consistent start, other than the little tie up there in Ironwood to begin the year. But other than that, kind of what we come to expect, a lot of podiums. But definitely probably the highlight of the year was the win in Shakopee. You just going to want to kind of talk us through how the season started from your perspective and how you felt it's gone.
Yeah, so Ironwood definitely started out a little rough. It was, just not a great weekend for me, just unlucky and just made some unfortunate mistakes. But then, I was home over Christmas break and I got to practice with my teammate Tyler for quite a while, which I think helped a lot because we didn't really have much time on the sled before the season started because it wasn't cold enough to make any snow or anything. So then, just having that time on the sled in between Ironwood and Shakopee, I think really helped. And then Shakopee, I ended up winning, so that was pretty cool. And then, just trying to stay consistent, which I have been. Mostly with getting second and whatnot, but just trying to be better and do everything I can do to win because, that's all I want is just to win. So, yeah.
Of course, that's the goal.
Yeah.
You said you started off a little bit. You didn't have a lot of seat time. Were there many changes for your equipment coming into 25, or was it pretty similar to what you were on in 24? I mean, you're still on Polaris, but was there much difference?
Everything was pretty much the same. They made a couple of changes to the sled, but the majority of things were the same. So that part was, nice, easy to adjust to. But just, not being on the sled all summer, just training and whatnot. Then you hop on the sled again, and I don't know, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get back into your groove. And I think I only had maybe 5 or 6 hours on the sled before the season started, which normally I have I think last season I had, I don't know, almost 10, 15-ish. I'm not really sure, but yeah.
Okay. Do you ride like a jet ski or a quad or?
No,
mountain bike? What do you do?
So in the summer, it's mostly just in the gym training for me. I like cycling a lot. But just cardio, strength training, very important. I used to play college soccer too, so that was a big thing for me all summer. So I haven't really ever gotten into dirt biking or anything like that, but I would like to now that I'm not playing soccer. And I think it would benefit me for snowcross season and stuff. So maybe this summer I can start doing that. I used to when I was a kid, but then when soccer really took off, I kind of just stopped doing riding dirt bikes in the summer just so I wouldn't get hurt for my soccer season. So.
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
Along with, training and racing, you also have quite a bit going on just in general with college and everything. Just kind of talk through some of that and what you got going on in the normal day-to-day outside of the snowcross scene.
Yeah, so I'm in nursing school right now. I'll graduate in December, but that definitely takes up a lot of my time just because there's so much studying involved and it's definitely a hard program. So it's tough, but I really wanted to keep racing and I really wanted to be a nurse. So you got to do what you got to do, really. And I mean, it's hard work, but we make it happen. So basically, during the week, I have class in the morning or clinical, and then I'll go to the gym after, or for practicing, I'll go to practice at ERX after. And then, that's pretty much what my day consists of.
It's very hectic. Do you have to do? You said you're doing practicals right now. Do you have another one after you graduate? Do you have another session, or is it when you're done in December you're ready to go?
Yep, when I'm done in December, I'm completely done. Just have to
Awesome.
take the NCLEX. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a balance there. Obviously, probably more than some of your fellow competitors are dealing with at the moment in your division. But obviously, we know for the last couple of years you've been with Hemmer Motorsports, and just kind of talk about how that transition's been. And it seems like it's just been a pretty good fit for you, and especially with the younger girls just being in the trailer and stuff. How well have you adjusted, and how well do you like racing for Hemmer?
Yeah, so it's been awesome, really. I couldn't complain about anything. They're great. I really like that they just make me as comfortable as possible on the sled, and they're such great people. It's very family oriented, so I like that a lot. But yeah, I used to race for Fratellone Racing, and then I made the switch to Hemmer Motorsports. And so this is my second year with them. And everything, yeah, has been really great. Tyler's an awesome teammate. He helps me out a lot on the track and whatnot. And then Avery and Lila are the two other girls. It's cool to be able to help them too because they're younger than me, and Avery's going to be in Pro Women next year. And yeah, just helping them improve as well. And we all get along great, so it's a lot of fun. But at the same time, like when it's time to be serious, we're serious and we get the job done, but we have a lot of fun doing it.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize Avery was going to be moving up next season. That's pretty exciting. That's a big step.
Yeah, for sure. She's really excited because you can move up when you turn 14. So yeah, she'll be making the jump next year. And then Lila has a couple more years left, but
Sure.
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Matt and I probably know a little bit more about your progression and how you got to Hemmer Motorsports, but for someone that hasn't really known, just kind of take us, into your background of how you came into snowcross and how you kind of, came through the ranks and got to where you're at now at Hemmers.
Yeah, so I started out when I was 6 years old. My dad used to race, so that's kind of how I got into it. I have 3 other siblings that also used to race a little bit. And yeah, we just were doing like Michigan regionals when I was a kid. And here and there we would do some nationals, but I wasn't doing awesome at the time, so it was kind of just the close ones we would go to and stuff. So yeah, but then as I started getting better, my dad's like, yeah, let's take this to the next level. Let's go to the nationals and stuff. And yeah, so I started doing well. And my siblings stopped racing when my mom passed away. And then my dad, he stopped racing as well. So he kind of just was there helping me out and just doing everything he could do really to get me to the next level. And then when I was a senior in high school, I decided to do online school because I really just wanted to do everything I could do to be the best I could be at this sport. So I did online school and I moved out to Minnesota by myself. And Hemmers were actually helping me out a little bit at the time too, which was very nice. And yeah, so I was racing with Tibbetts. Bo and Jim were a huge part of my career for sure. They definitely helped get me to the next level. So I raced with them for a couple years, and then I got picked up by Fratellone, and yeah, and then that year was a little bit rough, but super grateful for everything they did for me. It was awesome to be on a team for the first time because really since I was a kid, that was like my dream to be on a team someday and, race for Polaris. So finally got there and then, yeah, just kept improving from there and got picked up by Hemmers, which was awesome. And yeah, now we're here just trying to be consistent, but also chasing a championship.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's quite a progression. I mean, I remember when you were racing 120s a long time ago.
Yeah.
Here in Michigan. So it's been quite a progression. Awesome to watch for sure.
Yeah, thank you. Just took my training and everything to a different level so I could, be the best I could be. So
Yeah. As we head into, now we're focusing towards New York and the rest of the season, is there things that, you're really looking forward to? I know obviously starts have been, they mention it every single time you line up on the starting line. But
You are quick on the trigger.
yeah, you normally have the starts dialed, but is there anything else that you're kind of looking to maybe improve on to help you continue to run up front and really challenge Malene?
Yeah, definitely getting a good start, being out in front of her right away helps a lot. But actually, when I did win in Shakopee, I did not start out in front. So I know I can do it either way. But yeah, just getting a good start. And then you really just have to put together a good race, like the entire race, no mistakes, and then you can beat her. But I mean, it's definitely hard, but I've just been working on my corner speed a lot because I think sometimes I lack a little bit there. I'm so small, so it's kind of hard for me to turn the sled, but my team has made a bunch of adjustments. Like I have risers on my running boards now, and my bars are more narrow so I can reach the throttle still when I'm trying to turn. So yeah, just those adjustments have helped a ton. And getting through rhythm sections too is really important because I think that's one thing that the girls struggle with a lot. But I've just been like practicing them a lot, working super hard with that. So you really just have to put together a good race start to finish and ride smart. And I know I can do it. So just looking forward to doing that the rest of the season and really just trying to win. We're halfway through the season now, I think. And so, yeah, the points are really important. And yeah.
Yeah, 4 down, 4 to go. What is it about, you said in the rhythm sections, what is it that is more challenging for you or for maybe for the others in the class? Like, what do you see as a bigger challenge right there?
I'm not really sure what it is, but it just always seems like, the guys can get through it better. I don't know if it's they're stronger maybe or what, but I think it's just also having the confidence and like knowing that you can get through it. Like our sleds are the same as theirs, really, and we can do whatever theirs can do. Um, and so, yeah, I think it's just like more of a mental thing almost than anything. And especially when I was home over Christmas break, Tyler, I would show up to practice and he's like, okay, I built a track like for you to practice your rhythm sections. Now you better do it. And I would do it. And it really helped me a lot. Having the confidence to get through them cleanly and not just like landing on top of them or whatever. And my suspension changes too that we've made have really helped me progress, I guess, and get through those better too. So
Stiffer? You going stiffer or softer?
a little bit stiffer,
Okay.
just a couple other changes. I don't know exactly what they
Yeah,
are.
but just in general, you're running a
Yeah,
stiffer setup than
do a little
what you
more
had
pop
before.
to get over stuff and whatnot too. So, and before I used to like just land on top of them, and now I'm like actually getting over them. So you can, now that I'm making the sled do what it is made to do, then you can improve it even more. So, yeah.
Oh, just simple physics, right? Just the momentum carrying you through that rhythm section. If you're casing the top of every one, it takes more time, more speed, where you're now just flowing right through them and
Yeah,
carrying that
exactly.
momentum through over each jump. So
Mhm.
is there a track as you go forward kind of throughout the rest of the season that you're really excited looking forward to racing at?
I really just like all of the tracks. I do have my favorites. I did like Deadwood. This year was a little different though because it was right-handers and
Mhm.
those are a little tough sometimes, but I'm looking forward to Eagle River. There's a lot of snow there already, so that should be a good track. And when we raced there in the past, the track has been really cool. Um, and New York, I guess, has a lot of snow, which is where we're headed next weekend. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, the rest of them should be good. So, and practicing at ERX all the time, it's like I know how like the track is and how the snow is there kind of too. And so we raced there the first weekend of March. So that should be good as well.
That's where you do most of your training, Inanna? Is that
Yeah.
EX? Okay.
Yeah, ERX Motor Park. It's like my team lives basically in that town, so it's a perfect spot to go practice. And yeah.
Okay. Was everybody, the rest of the team, were they down doing, I know this was Ditch Banger National. We had Ditch Banger at Northern Power, and it was also Ditch Banger National at ERX. Did any of your
Oh,
teammates go
really?
down for that?
No, we actually didn't. I was actually practicing yesterday and we got back kind of late. So
Okay.
We didn't we didn't race the ditch banger.
Okay.
ERX didn't really have practice this week because of the ditch banger. They're trying to get ready for it. So we went down to a different track
Oh,
at
yeah.
someone's house and rode. So it was good that we still got some riding in.
Oh, for sure. That's cool. All right, good.
Yeah.
One thing I definitely wanted to hit on because it's kind of special, and you talked about it a little bit earlier, but especially when you sign with a pro team or factory team, um, you not always do you get to keep your mechanic or especially your dad around, and that's been a big piece through your whole process. Your dad's been your mechanic right there on the starting line, kind of your right hand man. How cool has it been to kind of do all this with your dad right by your side every step of the way?
I mean, him and we've done this since day one together, so I was really happy that I was able to keep him as my mechanic. We've spent just endless amounts of time traveling together and whatnot. My dad definitely easily my best friend, so it's really cool to have him on the starting line with me. And yeah, he knows everything really that I like with the sled, and I'm 100% confident in what he does with it. I never have to question anything, so yeah, I'm really glad that he's still able to do that.
Yeah, I know he's also a very particular person, so I don't think he would want anyone else working on it either. So
Yeah, exactly. He does a really good job. And my team also helps a little bit too. So but yeah, my dad takes me to the line and everything, and yeah, it's great. I'm very grateful he can still do that.
Sure. And you get help also right from the Polaris factory trailer at the Nationals, right? They help with some of the setups and some kind of guide the setup for that particular event.
Yeah, so even years ago, Polaris has been just a huge part of my success. Scotty and Junior and Ben, all of those guys, they really just want to help you, want to see you succeed, and will just help out with anything really. Scotty used to do all of my clutching, which is pretty much how I got my whole shot Hauger name. He did a phenomenal job, and yeah, all of those guys have helped me tremendously, and their support is just amazing. And even now, like since I'm on a team, they'll still come in and just see how everything's going. They'll watch out on the track and see how the suspension is, and give their input as well. And so, yeah, they help a ton.
Are you running any like the Lit Pro or any of those diagnostic? I'll call it diagnostic or data loggers where you can actually see the breakdown of the track. Is that common in your class or just in general?
Yeah, so I've been running those for a couple of years now. So basically, like when you come back from your race, they can download the data onto the computer, and then they can see exactly everything how it went and make adjustments to the clutches based on what they see. So yeah, I have ran that for a while now, and it's a huge thing for your success just because they can see exactly what you're doing
Okay.
and exactly what they need to change really.
and that race day assistance really was a big step even a long time ago. Like I remember you guys way back in the day used to ride cat, and then you guys made that switch just because your dad was doing everything and needed some extra hands, and that Polaris assistance with the factory trailer there really helped out, and it was kind of one of the main reasons you guys switched to Polaris to begin with. I don't know if you remember that or not, but I
Mhm.
remember that haul going down. So yeah, Polaris has been with you for a long time and helping you maintain being successful for a long time.
Oh yeah, I used to be on a cat, and then I forget how old I was when I switched, but yeah, when I got into pro women, I've pretty much been with Polaris ever since. And yeah, I could not say enough great things about those guys. They're such a huge help and big part of my success for sure.
That's great. And you've I guess you've helped them as well. You've done some marketing with them and you've done some ad campaigns with them. Like you've been a part of their program as well. It's kind of gone both ways as far as I can see. Maybe you can talk a little bit
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, so I mean, they help me out a ton, so I definitely am willing to do whatever media stuff they want me to do. I did a video with them when we were in Aurora practicing preseason, and then just a Polaris like trailer tour in Shakopee too. And yeah, just they come in and do some interviews and whatnot sometimes. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy to do it. I love promoting them, so it's great.
Yeah, you're doing a phenomenal job with it, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. I
Very
appreciate
much
it.
enjoy those interviews and tours that you do. You do a great job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So obviously heading out to New York next week, looking to continue the momentum. We appreciate you taking some time, Matt. I don't know if you have any other final questions that you want to know about with what's going on with the program there for Inanna or Hemmer or anything, but
Maybe just one question. The class. Maybe just talk a little bit about the class in general, pro women. I mean, you're talking about um, some new people coming into the class. It seems like the depth is getting even maybe a little bit deeper, especially that top five looks like it's tightening up a little bit. I'm starting to see with the 7CB starting to progress, and I'm starting to see some more speed coming up, especially maybe in that top five. Talk a little bit, maybe just a little bit about the class itself and what you're seeing as far as growth in the class.
Yeah, so this year there's, I feel like, more competition. Even in years past, like when I first started pro women, there was a lot of fast girls. And then it almost seemed like it kind of died off a little bit. Like people stopped racing, and then we didn't have as many girls. But I feel like it's really coming back now, and there's more girls coming into the class. Like my teammate Avery will be in there next year, and a couple moved up this year. And yeah, it's just cool to see different girls on the podium, and it's fun to battle with them. Like Carissa, she started doing really well last year. She's one of my good friends, so it's fun to be up on the podium with her, fun to be battling with her, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's just a lot more depth to the class, and you never really know sometimes who's gonna, be on the podium or be in that top five. I guess it's sometimes different every time. So
Yeah, it's exciting as a fan. As a fan to watch, it's like I say that the top five, top six is really
mhm.
seems like it's kind of tightened up, and the speed has certainly come up from
Yeah,
what
I definitely think
what
it
I can
has
see.
for sure. And it's cool because there's more pro women on teams now than I think there ever has been before. Before it was like maybe one or two, three of them would be on a team, and now quite a few of us are, which is pretty cool to see too.
Yeah, that's really good. It helps
Mhm.
overall helps the sport out in
Oh
every
yeah,
aspect. That's great.
yeah, definitely.
oh, and I feel like you were kind of part of that push, right? Like you, Malene, um, and a couple others kind of started that what 2, 3 years ago with signing those contracts, and then now it's kind of picking up as you mentioned. So, you know,
Hmm.
and then as Matt was saying too, kind of talk about the class and just the level of or the variety of talent levels you have in that, because unlike right the male side, they have juniors and they have sport light and sport, but like you're talking about, like your teammate Avery is just getting thrown in right from basically coming from a transition level to now going to a pro class, pro am, but pro class for the women. Like that's a big step up, and that's a big transition when you have Malene and you and Carissa now coming on and things like and Naylee. Like the speed and transition from a transition sled to now running with you guys is a whole different world.
Yeah, so it's kind of different because, like you said, the guys they have different classes. Like they have junior sport and then pro light, where they can like kind of improve as they go up. But with pro women, you're kind of just like thrown in there when you're 14, and it'd almost be nice maybe to have like a transition class between like junior girls and pro women, just if you're not quite ready for pro women yet. But yeah, the talent level in pro women is a huge variety, really. There's some girls that are really fast, and then some that maybe just need a couple more years or whatever to improve a bit. But yeah, when you're out there racing, like in the nicest way possible, there's definitely a lot of lappers out there to like maneuver around at times, especially on smaller tracks. But it's cool to see like the younger girls moving up, and just to see them improve too. Like Victoria Dillon, she moved up from junior girls this year, and I mean she's been like mid pack doing pretty well, got some podiums. And then I think Avery moving up too, like that'll benefit her a lot, just being able to like train with me, and like we practice together all the time. So yeah, I think that'll help her have a little bit more of a smooth transition. I think she'll do really well. But yeah, there's it seems like there's many just different levels in the class that, of all the girls. So
Yeah, we've got from the Michigan side, we've got Riley Novacek. I see her consistently kind of right in that top 10 range as she started. She's I think maybe the second year in the class, and starting to show some consistency, starting to run up in that top 10. But again, like you say, there are a couple different groups or a couple different packs within that class. It's interesting to watch, certainly.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Riley's been improving a lot for sure. And I remember she used to buy a lot of my my old sleds too. So it's kind of cool to watch her improve.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a little connection there, whatever. So yeah.
You mentioned it, Inanna, but like trying to go back now, thinking when you came into the class, do you feel like personally it would have been more helpful to have like a in between class there for like a sport light or something for you to transition into pro women? Obviously, numbers have fluctuated over the years, but if it supported it, do you think it would have been a helpful transition to have another step?
I think so. I personally was just really ready to go to pro women because I was just excited and I wanted to compete with them. But I think my first year in pro women, I want to say I ended up like 7th in the points championship, somewhere around there. So maybe it would have been beneficial, but at the same time, I was just ready to be in pro women. And I think also riding with the faster girls will also make you faster. So I
For
think,
sure.
yeah, I think definitely if you're not quite ready for pro women, an in between class could be beneficial. But it's also hard because the numbers don't always allow that. So, but they are doing junior girls 2 days now instead of just 1 day at the
Oh,
national.
that's good.
So maybe that'll help too. Get a little
Sure.
track time.
Yeah, just seat time, track time, and race time, right? I mean, you went through it. You just can't replicate racing. You can
Yeah,
practice a lot, and
exactly.
you have to do that. You have to put your hours in, but racing is racing, and the more starts you can get, the more laps you can get under race pressure. It just helps.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I used to do transition, juniors, junior girls, like just all of those. So I definitely, as much time on the track racing that you can get will help you tremendously.
Well, Avery's doing that right now too, right? She jumps into a few different classes I see on weekends, doing kind of like you mentioned, just all over, getting as much seat time in as possible
hmm
with junior girls and some transition classes and things. So
Yeah, she
um,
does both of them. So
yeah,
I'll help her for sure.
yeah, cool. Well, we're wishing you the best of luck as the rest of the season goes out. We'll definitely be following along. Hopefully, we see you at the top of the box a couple more times this year. But
Yes.
we appreciate your time and
Yeah, thank you.
availability to jump on.
Yeah,
Always
no
cheering
problem.
for you,
Thank
Nana.
you. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All
Yeah,
right.
no problem.
Thank everybody for watching and stay tuned for what's to come with the podcast.